really great job. I was working for the local school district up here doing some grant administration work, and threw it all, to the wind to open a flower shop.
Hello, welcome back to the Today in Petoskey Business podcast with Autumn Ashcraft. Today we are sitting down with Jennifer Half of Bloom Floral Design based in Charlevoix, Michigan. Jennifer went to school to be a teacher and got a degree from Michigan State University. She then went out to Boulder, Colorado for a while, did her graduate year at the University of Denver, but meanwhile always had jobs at flower shops, and that was when she really became interested in the flower business. She moved back to northern Michigan in 2003. She then got a job doing grant administration work while also growing and selling flowers from her backyard on the side. She opened a small flower cart on weekends in Charlevoix and made great profits. She then decided to fully invest her time into the floral business. In 2005, Jennifer opened her first flower shop in Bay Harbor, Michigan, to which she invested all of her savings. Jennifer held this shop in Bay Harbor, Michigan for 10 years until her business became too large and she moved operations to a bigger location in downtown Charlevoix. She has since held this shop for 3 years and has just this summer opened a new location in Petoskey, Michigan. So in the beginning, you were working both in education and doing this flower business on the side while doing weddings as well?
Yeah, it was summer,
Oh,
so we didn't have a lot to do in the off season for work. But yeah, I think I was managing a summer camp or something at that time, so I could manage both things because it was during the week, and then I was just doing this little flower cart idea, sort of a European-inspired design on Saturdays, and that was it for the first season. And then the next summer, there was this great little retail space in a super seasonal resort community down the road from where we are, and there was just the perfect little space that opened up, and I signed a lease and opened a store 30 days later. So just one of those things I didn't want to say no to. And it happened to be kind of that time when this whole region has really grown as a destination for weddings in the Midwest, and we have a lot of East Coast and Chicago, and kind of people from all over come here now. Texas, actually, we have a lot of Texas clients that come up for the summer, but it was sort of at the right place at the right time because people were finding out about us and the internet was growing, and we had gotten our name on some vendor lists with some of the newer wedding venues in the area, and it just worked. The timing was great, and it was fun and exciting and new, and we just were able to kind of grow with the industry up here. So we've forged a lot of really great relationships because of our timing too.
So I know you shut down shop in Charlevoix during the winter, but do you still do weddings and events?
Not so much.
Not really.
Yeah,
Okay.
No, it kind of, no.
It really
Our
does.
winters it really does, yeah. I mean, my studio manager, Samantha, who's amazing, she's kind of like my left arm and brain, but she and I basically spend our winters, going to market, sourcing new products, meeting with clients, writing proposals, all of those off-season things, booking events for next season. So it's not that we're not working, but it's not the event side of it, busyness.
How many employees do you have, and at what time did you bring them in?
So I hired, it's again very seasonal, so I feel like we do have quite a bit of turnover. Samantha, who's my saving grace, she's like an angel from, I don't know where she came from, but she is just incredible. She's a younger employee who started with me. I think she was 19. She's been with us for 5 years, and she started just as a studio assistant, and she's grown into her, she's basically our studio manager. She does all of our ordering and events. She's my 1 year-round employee who's salaried, and that, I think it's been 2 years. This will be her 3rd year on salary, so it took about 7 or 8 years before I was able to do that. And then we have seasonal employees, 5 or 6 seasonal employees that we hire. And we keep our retail staff totally separate from our event staff, so it's we've tried it before where we tried to balance a little bit of retail, a little bit of studio time during the same shift, and it was just too much. We tried it and it was too much, so we keep when you're working retail, you're in the retail, and if you're in the studio, you're in the studio, just so you can focus on the tasks at hand. So yeah, I think to answer your question, we have 4 studio employees and then pretty much full-time, and then 3 or 4 retail staff that share the hours. They're not all full-time, but so yeah, I think we had 8 this summer, 8 employees. And then we hire freelancers for our really big event weekends, and that just depends on the scale of what we're doing.
So how do you think your clients find you, and do you have competition where you're located?
Oh yeah, there's a healthy competition for sure up here.
Okay.
I would say probably just through our connections and our relationships with planners in the area. There's a few pretty solid, actually amazingly solid planners that we've sort of grown with too. So referrals through planners, referrals through venues. We've got a lot of great connections just with other vendors, photographers, what else? Pastry artists, all that sort of thing. So, but yeah, online searches. We have a lot of people find us on Instagram or just through a web search.
When you go back to that original space, I'm just interested in the transitions, because how did you go from having a salary with the school district and then having that flower cart to then renting a space and actually having a retail space, and then eventually quitting your job and transitioning to where you are now? I mean, those are some big hops within 10 years.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And just big picture, I know that the business of flowers always at least paid for itself from a marketing standpoint, so that was important. My husband has always been really supportive of all of this, and he's kind of rode the wave with me through the beginning and starting a business, and then kind of the spiral of it being successful. It's been exciting, but he has a very steady job that provides insurance, and we can live on what he makes, but what I provide for the family is kind of bonus vacation money and pays for the business, so that works. But yeah, so I had my job with the school district, and then I signed a lease kind of, maybe looking back it was kind of irresponsible, but I had some money saved up and I knew what it was going to cost, and thankfully my husband's really great at spreadsheets, so he helps me with the numbers and makes sure it's at least making sense or we're not doing anything totally rash. And again, I think just being in the right place at the right time helped, and kind of getting our toe in the door at the right time with the event industry has really helped. For sure pay the bills, and for sure, my goals for the first couple of years were to break even and be able to, not lose any money, and that thankfully worked out. And then it certainly helped when we didn't have the lease in the year-round 12 months rent at the beginning, to just kind of go back home and then know it. The nice thing about the event side of the business is that you know what to expect. Typically our calendar is full by, March or April, and we have an outlook as to who we can hire and how many people we can hire, what we can pay them, and all of that is pretty black and white, so that's helpful from the event side. And again, that felt easier, I guess, to do from home, and a little bit smarter as we grew at the pace we did. And then the retail side, when we reopened, we needed a studio space anyway, and we knew that the weddings could pay for the whole space we needed, so the retail was just kind of a fun little marketing ploy, I guess. So people could see people love coming in. We have a loosely separated space, but they can still peek in the back and see what we're up to. And we have ladies that come in every week and check out our wedding flowers and peek in the back, and they tell their friends, so they know Thursdays and Fridays are our busy flower days when it's packed with flowers, and people have never seen anything like that, so it's fun to see their reaction. It's not totally behind closed doors. They can take a peek, and then yeah, it works.